Hey, be careful with that. They say it can puncture the skin of a rhino from 100... Ow! Oh! Yes! That's awesome! You just took one in the jugular, man!
What's up, guys? It's Benny. The metaphor of the frog in the boiling pot of water. The frog is too stupid to realize that it's being cooked alive, literally until it's cooked alive. There's no time to escape, and it's all over. That is what's happening to the Democrat Party right now, according to CNN's most popular political pundit, Scott Jennings, who told a table of screechy lib women, including one who had just fake interviewed Joe Biden earlier that day on The View, that they are done and that there's going to be a nuclear bomb dropped on their party. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a fun clip to watch. Listen to the gasps, and we're going to review all of the evidence for this claim right now.
Sort of forward-looking issue. Watching him on The View today and watching some of the interviews he did over...
Thank you for your viewership.
Yeah, I saw it.
And he's talking about Joe Biden here when he says him.
It's rare for me, but I did watch it.
You like Anna, that's what it is.
I will...
Look at that smug Cabbage Patch doll face. Oh, it's so scrunchy. It's so repulsive. Ugh. She used to work for Jeb Bush. Just a reminder of like what the Bush wing of the party represented. Yeah, here we go.
Just say, watching him over the last few days reminded me that a whole bunch of people were telling us with a straight face that this man was capable of serving another 4 years as president. And that these appearances, coupled with what I understand is going to be the equivalent of a nuclear bomb dropped on the Democratic Party when Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson's book come out next week, I don't know that the Democrats have fully internalized what's about to happen to them. Between what he looks like today and what they're about to report, get ready.
Ooh, brutality. Okay, so let's talk about what he was referencing here. Scott Jennings saying it's going to be a nuclear bomb, saying that himself. Between what we saw of Biden today and The View, my understanding of what's going to drop, I don't think Democrats have internalized what's going to happen to their party. This is going to be very, very painful, says Scott Jennings, and this is making all of the headlines, the nuclear bomb headlines. Scott Jennings hypes nuclear bomb dropping on Dems next week. All right, well, what is he talking about? Let's break it up into two parts. One, he's talking about Ana Navarro on The View with Joe Biden, who Ana Navarro is a close personal friend with Joe Biden. She clearly rehearsed a fake sign of the cross with Biden so they could act out a prearranged skit. So all of the low IQ, smooth brain SEALs in the audience could clap. Got it? Got to make Joe look sharp, right? That's what this whole appearance was about. They also pre-wrote jokes with Joe backstage. It was really obvious. Notice how Joy Behar reads from her note card here for the pre-planned joke and setup just for Joe.
You used an auto pen to sign the pardons you issued right before you left office with members of your immediate family. Now he's calling for investigations and claiming the pardons are void and vacant.
Oh, he's vacant.
The pedantic Joe Biden reaction, the laughing, the wheezing, the head, like it's all rehearsed. It's all fake. It's all fugazi. It's what Joe Biden's used to. The canned and extremely corny corporate writing from Hollywood masters and from the puppeteers. And look, you can see Whoopi Goldberg has a line there. She goes, "That was a mic drop moment." Well, Whoopi, was this a mic drop moment? This is the clip that everybody's talking about. You see, Joe Biden gets asked about his mental incontinence, how he clearly has Parkinson's, how he clearly has dementia, some type of horrible brain disease. Interviewing a man who's clearly cognitive decline about whether he's in cognitive decline, and then having his wife answer for him when he exhibits cognitive decline is absurd. It's the single most painful answer I've ever heard on TV. And we've watched a lot of interviews. Let this guy retire. What a tragedy having Dr. Jill Biden answer for him, says Lib Jason. All right, Let's go. This is what Scott Jennings is talking about.
There have been a number of books that have come out, deeply sourced from Democratic sources, that claim in your final year there was a dramatic decline in your cognitive abilities in the final year of your presidency. What is your response to these allegations, or are these sources wrong?
They are wrong. There's nothing to sustain that, number one. Number two, you know, think of what we're left with. We're left with a circumstance where we had an insurrection when I started, not since the Civil War. We had a circumstance where we were in a position that the pandemic, because of the incompetence of the last outfit, end up over 1 million people dying, 1 million people dying. And we're also in a situation where we found ourselves unable to deal with a lot of just basic issues, and which I won't go into in the interest of time. And so we went to work, and we got it done. And you know, one of the things and
Alyssa, you know, one of the things I think is that the people who wrote those books were not in the White House with us.
Oh, it's so painful. Headlines like this. Jill Biden gives secret signal to stop answering dangerous question on The View. And Joe Biden has mysterious hand wound. You can see here. Real image, not AI. Real image, real face that Joe Biden decided to make on national TV with a giant gaping wound on his hand. Many saying that this is a bandage for some type of IV treatment. Try and make him a little more alert. After the interview, Joe Biden got up and shook his own wife's hand. Oh, it's so excruciating. So anyway, this is coupled with the Democrats being the most unpopular they've ever been, the highest unpopularity ever. They just stopped polling during the Biden era, by the way. How nice of them. How convenient. Literally, during the Biden year, they just stopped doing this poll. And now they've started it back up again, and they found that Democrats are more unpopular than ever. Democrats' party favorability drops to record low. Shocking prediction for Dems that AOC will be the Democrat nominee in 2028. Good luck with that. I mean, careful what you wish for, but like, whatever. And now this, a new book by Biden, a new book about Biden by Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson report cover-up about his decline. The book is titled Original Sin, and the book's publisher says, what you will learn is that President Biden's decision to run for re-elections seems shockingly narcissistic, self-delusional, and reckless. Desperate bet that went bust, and part of a larger act of extended public deception that has few precedents. Goodness. Biden, his family, and his senior aides were so convinced that he could beat Trump again, they lied to themselves, allies, and the public about his conditions and limitations. Goodness gracious. Okay. Well, this is being written by Jake Tapper. Jake Tapper, who's a complete and total fraud. Laura Trump summing up nicely here. Seems like a good time to remind everyone that in 2020, Jake Tapper accused me of making fun of people with a stutter, an atrocious accusation, and then attempted to shut me down and ended our interview when I tried to warn people of Joe Biden's obvious cognitive issues. Fun thing to keep in mind, given the fact that Jake Tapper is trying to write a book about the people who covered up Joe Biden's mental issues. What a freaking fraud. Jake Tapper criticized Laura Trump. Now he's writing a book titled Original Sin, addressing the cover-up of Biden's mental decline. Here's this clip, just for reference, kind of what Scott Jennings is talking about here. They have no way out. They're just going to have to bite this bullet, swallow this pill, and it's going to be a tough one, a tough enema. Horse pill-sized enema for the Democrat Party. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, try not to get Diddy too excited here. Yeah, it's going to be bad. Jake Tapper's a fraud. He just wants your money. Don't buy his book. But we're going to talk about it anyway. Here we go.
Every time he comes on stage or they turn to him, I'm like, Joe, can you get it out? Let's get the words out, Joe. You kind of feel bad for him.
How do you think it makes little kids with stutters feel when they see you make a comment like that?
First and foremost, I had no idea that Joe Biden ever suffered from a stutter. I think what we see on stage with Joe Biden, Jake, is very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable
you have
to watch somebody on stage search for
it's so amazing. It's so amazing to me
and try and figure out an answer.
A cognitive decline.
Well, when you're trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was
I think that you were mocking his stutter. Yeah, I think you were mocking his stutter, and I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline. I would think that somebody in the Trump family would be more sensitive to people who do not have medical licenses diagnosing politicians from afar. Plenty of people have diagnosed your father from afar, and I'm sure it offends you. Your father-in-law from afar. I'm sure it offends you. You don't have any standing to say.
I'm not diagnosing him. What I'm saying, Jake,
you just talked
is
about
that
a cognitive decline.
That Joe Biden
I have one last
struggling
question for you, Laura. You can't
times on stage, and it's very concerning to a lot of people that this could be the leader of the free world.
Okay.
That is all I'm saying. I genuinely feel
Laura
sorry
Trump.
for Joe Biden.
I appreciate it. I'm sure.